Welcome to Car Comparos. Today we'll be comparing the Datsun Redi Go versus the Hyundai Eon. Pricing and features. The Eon's sports variant costs 4.6 lakh rupees on road Delhi, which is 90,000 rupees more expensive than Redi Go's range-topping S variant, costing 3.7 lakh rupees. The Eon Sports has a couple of extra features over the Redi Go S, like keyless entry and fog lamps, while the Redi Go has extra LED daytime running lights over the Eon. Anyways, Eon's minor extra features are definitely not worth the exorbitant 90,000 rupees premium over the Redi Go. Performance and drivability. The Redi Go has noticeably better performance than the Eon. It has 15% better power and torque to weight ratio than the Eon, and the difference in performance is especially evident when there's a full complement of passengers on board. Both cars have the characteristic 3-cylinder thrum and feel a bit lacking in terms of refinement, particularly at higher rev. Fuel efficiency. The Redi Go has an ARAI certified mileage of 25.17 kmpl, which is 4.1 kmpl more than the Eon's fuel efficiency of 21.1 kmpl. In our back-to-back tests, the Redi Go was almost 3 kmpl more efficient than the Eon. This equates to a savings of 75,000 rupees in fuel costs over a usage of 75,000 kilometers. Space and comfort. Redi Go's distinctly tall-boy design has given it much better ergonomics than the Eon. It has a higher hip point, resulting in better under-thigh support, especially to the rear passengers, and facilitates easier ingress-egress as well. Both cars are strictly four-seaters, and accommodating a fifth passenger is no less than a challenge. Both cars have an almost identical boot space of 220 liters. The Eon claws back some lost ground with more upmarket interiors. Redi Go's interiors feel a bit drab and outdated in comparison. Handling and ride quality. The Redi Go has far better dynamics than the Eon. The Eon is a remarkably dull car to drive around the bends. It has loads of understeer, with its mushy suspension stifling out any feel or feedback from the surface. The Redi Go, on the other hand, does quite well around the bends given its tall boy design. It isn't about the outright grip, but the quick responses and balanced suspension setup which makes it quite fun to pilot on twisty roads. Both cars suffer from excessively light steering setups though. The Eon rides well at low speeds but starts wallowing and gets skittish as the speeds rise. The Redi Go absorbs bumps and ruts much better than the Eon, and thanks to higher ground clearance, you don't need to worry about scraping its belly as much as you would in the Eon. Reliability and after-sales service. Hyundai has a huge lead over Datsun when it comes to service support in our country. Hyundai also has decades-long track record of decent product reliability. The Go and Go Plus have certainly proved to be reliable cars, but the Redi Go is powered by Renault Nissan's brand new powertrain, which is yet to prove that it hasn't suffered from excessive cost cutting. Hyundai has a tight control over its dealers, resulting in great customer satisfaction with its service centers. Datsun's dealerships are still working hard to reach the typical Japanese levels of after-sales service that customers expect from them. Datsun Nissan's 200 dealer footprint is also no match to Hyundai's widespread service reach, courtesy of its 800 plus outlets. Resale and cost of ownership. The Eon is bound to depreciate slightly lesser than the Redi Go thanks to Hyundai's long-standing reputation for hassle-free ownership in our country. Overall, the Redi Go works out to be a jaw-dropping 85,000 rupees cheaper than the equivalent Eon in terms of overall ownership costs. Which brings us to the verdict. The Datsun Redi Go easily trounces the Eon to win this test. Firstly, it is better suited to Indian road conditions thanks to higher ground clearance and a balanced suspension setup. Secondly, it is technically a superior automobile with better performance, efficiency, and dynamics than the Eon. Thirdly, it is incredibly better value for money than the Eon thanks to almost 20% lesser ownership costs compared to the Eon.